even though I'm the one clicking the buttons, I always look quite shocked when it goes across.
That was quite good.
I know. I'm like, are we
Timing
going live?
wise.
Are we going live?
Let's be professional here. Come on, get on with it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the VR link. I think we're on week 4 or 5 now. It's Sunday, 7th of July. This show is all about what's been going on in the week, gaming-wise, and we have got a bit of VR news and stuff, like the guys, obviously, are enthusiasts. To my left, we've got Salsa Ketchup, lovely man, and then we got Nat, the wizard from 7 Degrees of Gaming. And, yeah, so just thanks for joining us. And if you haven't been in before, my name's GT from Gamertag VR. How are you boys? You alright? You all good today?
Yeah, really good.
Good.
Glad to be back again.
Sorry we're late. Me and Nat were just eating our dinner. So it was a real rush job today. Let's get into the chat quickly. Hello, Mrs. Gamertag VR. How you doing? TGK2. He's eating his tea. Nice. Yeah, we just finished ours, man. Hit the toad.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going? DJ? Flaky Flipper. How's it going, man? I don't think I've come across that name before. The Flaky Flipper. I like that.
Tantrums here.
Soon. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Captain Chrissy. Excellent. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Oh, Soul Seed. Very much for the donation.
Definitely.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Boy Brown, how you doing? Thank you.
Nice. Before I get started, this is something I haven't done before and I should have done. I want to thank everyone for being part of this, being part of this show. Thank you to the patrons of the channel as well. I really appreciate that. And if you're looking for ways to connect with other VR gamers, we've got communities and stuff. Mine in particular are on in the links below. But what we will do is put links to these guys' channels as well on this video, and you can check them out, check out their content, and yeah. So what has you guys been playing? What have you been playing this week?
I think I'll let Nat go first.
Yeah.
Well, I played Sairento, but on PlayStation VR this time, rather than Quest. Still not a great game. I mean, it's not going to make my top 10 or anything like that for me personally. But it's a much better game on PlayStation VR than it is on the Oculus Quest version. I enjoyed it a lot more. I had a lot more fun with the game. And Salsa joined in on my stream. He spent about 10 minutes trying to help me do a backflip. And then I did the backflip, at which point I turned around and said, "Oh, I don't like that. I ain't doing that again."
Have you ever actually done? Have you ever done a backflip?
Twitch stream, wasn't it? So I also subbed on your Twitch stream. So if you're a Prime member, you can go sub to 7 Degrees Gaming over on his Twitch channel. If you have your free sub, why not give it there?
Thank you very much.
Nice, dude. Nice. So you done Sairento on the Quest, and you done Sairento on PSVR and that.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is the better version out of the two?
PSVR 5. It's not even close. So I mean, in terms of the actual controls, really, the Sairento should have just been a no-brainer for the Quest, but I just didn't get on with the controls. Admittedly, I went into all the different options on the PSVR version, which I didn't do on the Quest version. But I think even if I'd have gone in and changed some of the settings on the Quest, I still wouldn't have had a very enjoyable experience overall. So also, it looks like you get a hell of a lot more content on the PSVR version. Now, admittedly, you should for the price difference. But I think if you're trying to and ah between the two of them, I would definitely say the PSVR version, the Quest version. Don't get me wrong, anyone a lot of fun on the Quest version. I'm ecstatic that they managed to get fun out of a game that I was unable to. I just want people to have fun playing games. And if I have a bad experience, well, that's just my personal experience. If sort of like 100 people have a great experience, I'm ecstatic because I had a lot of fun with the game. So
just to say,
yeah,
like,
that's how I preferred it.
When you talk about the price point,
that's exactly what I was going to do. Yeah, go on, Sal. So you take this.
Because so we've got Perp Games out there that does physical games, and the physical disc is actually selling at a cheaper price than the digital.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which isn't actually that unusual.
Which isn't that unusual, and we like Perp Games. We like
Yeah, but the percentage of this difference is unusual, I think.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So it's about what, £25, I think.
Well, it's $29.99 to buy the physical version in game, I believe. It's $34.99 to buy it off the PlayStation Store, so it's £5 more. And if you buy the Oculus Quest version, it's £10.99.
And it's
Okay.
It's $24.99 on Amazon for the physical version.
Yeah.
So it's cheap.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just
I
saying, man.
didn't
So
see
it's actually cheaper to buy the physical copy of the game on Prime and get it delivered the next day for £10 cheaper than it is digital. And I'm like, dude, I'd go physical all day long. I don't know about you guys, but
I always prefer physical.
yeah,
I would.
for sure.
I would. Sometimes I kind of like the convenience of digital. That's the problem, because I don't have a lot of space. And any of you who've seen a photo of my setup,
Not one that I can share openly, but yeah, go on.
Oh,
Like
what are you saying?
Like
What were you saying? Don't believe him. He's lying. That's one thing there. There is photos of my setup out there that you can see. I've got rather a small amount of space, so I have to be careful about how many collectibles and how much physicals I get, because otherwise I'm going to get a space.
yeah.
But that's the only thing there. So I was kind of shocked at the digital price.
Yeah, I was, dude. I actually thought it was a mistake because there was another game that was mispriced this week, which is Scraper First Strike.
Yeah.
But I'm going to bring that up as a bit of a game talk anyway. So let me just jump back into the chat quickly,
So
because
you can mix the two in there.
they've all, yeah, we'll have to, man. They've all. Hypnotoad says he's played nothing in VR because of the heat. Funny enough, we was actually just saying that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got that as a topic. So the topic is coming up.
It's been a tough
Definitely.
week. It's been a tough week, for sure. Hello, Midlife. How's it going? Hello, Shats. You right, Void? Stormy Daniels. Captain Chrissy put in
We've got
chicken leg burger, hot dog burger.
that legendary Thundercat symbol.
Where? Well, someone in the chat has got a Thundercat symbol.
Yeah, that's a Thundercat. That's a lot like Thundercat symbol from where I was.
Oh, man. Jock Jackson. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a geezer. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool with that.
That
Would be cool for VR, actually. I'd love to.
I've just seen Tony TGK2 in there. I just want to quickly give a shout out to him because he's recently just had another checkup over his cancer. He's got an all clear at the moment, but he has to go back in 3 months. So I want to send out my best thoughts to him.
Absolutely,
Wow.
dude. That's it, man.
Soulseeker, Marvel Powers United VR. I haven't played it. I've avoided it for a very particular. You played Marvel Powers United.
No, I've got it. I just haven't played it yet. So, I mean, I can do if someone wants me to. I have had it for quite a while, but I found it a little bit. I don't know. It was weird. I played it, and I would have probably liked to had maybe 10 characters that were fully invested more than a whole host of characters that some of them I don't really care about.
Yeah.
And some just felt quite limited. And it was funny, like you mentioned it when we was talking about Spider-Man, which we're going to bring up as well. It's all just leading round, man. It's all just leading round.
Yesterday as well, about that and Marvel and where they are going on platforms and how they are distributing things as well. Because we've got other Marvel titles coming up as well, as well as just, Powers United, which we can probably pull in all together a little bit later as a subject.
We'll definitely try, that's for sure. I mean, so what else we got here? Now, Stormy Daniels is looking. Thank you very much. He's lurking in the chat. Nice. Shats pre-ordered his physical copy of Sairento. Hello, young Salsa. I went dancing and has the time of my life. So that's pretty cool.
It's a typical line. It's a typical line that always comes out.
Yeah. You all right, DJ? How's it going?
Fine.
Yeah, we're full of superstars in here, man. Superstars. Definitely. So, yeah, thank you all for joining. Yeah, so, like, we might as well... I'm going to quickly go over this week's PSVR releases. I don't know if you guys have played them all. The first one that I wanted to talk about, if possible, was a game that I haven't got around to checking out yet. But funny enough, I sort of helped someone get something sorted with it. And it is I'm Hungry on PlayStation VR. And it's by Winking Entertainment. I don't know if you've played it or you've seen it or...
I've played it, I've seen it.
You've played it and seen it?
No, I have seen it, I haven't played it.
Right, okay. Right.
Of course,
I'm a no on both of them.
The Chinese company, they've done a few different things, haven't they? And some of what else they've done. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good.
What's that? Winking?
Winking, yeah.
I think they're more a publisher rather than a developer. I think they get smaller Chinese studios, and then they publish the games for them.
Yeah.
I think that's why there's such a range of games, because I think they did like Light Tracer. I think was one of theirs. The Walker, 18 Floors. I think they've all kind of come under the Winking banner, if memory serves.
Yeah, so Winking to me, they've always graphically done good-looking stuff. There's no way. They actually do really push graphically. Their games are really good. This game actually graphically looks very good to me.
Looks stunning.
I think it looks lovely. Yeah, the animations and like the effects and stuff look great. But apparently it's not too good. It's got some issues. Someone messaged me this week asking me for some help with it, trying to figure out how to get it started on Facebook. I can't remember if we got to the bottom of it. I'm pretty sure we did. I think he told me he found out what it was, or I told him. I can't remember. There's two things that have happened this week where I helped someone, and I can't remember which one I'm getting mixed up with here. Have I lost him? But basically, it was saying about if you start the game, you need to tilt your head to the left. And then it'll play. It was something like that. I need to find this guy's message. Yeah, let me get on my Facebook page.
That's a random bug. I mean, that's to be the most random bug ever.
Let me find it. There he is, James Glavin. So he put you may find this of you. So he put, I'm hungry. Have you tried I'm Hungry? It's great when it works. I keep getting stuck on the loading screen. I've emailed the developers, but not sure. I'll wait till I get a reply. And then he put, you might find this of use. And this is what they wrote to him. Hi, James. Sorry for the late reply. Thank you for reaching out to us. We've checked out the problem for you because he recorded it and sent it to him, which is what you should do. Please stand in front of the camera and tilt your headset a bit to see if the loading strip starts to get shorter. The system will sense your location in order to start the game. I was like, you've got to look for the loading strip. Then the game knows that you want the game to load. Is that what it's kind of going down that road? Please stand in front of the camera and tilt your headset a bit to see if the loading strip starts to get shorter. Which it should always get shorter because it's loading. The system will sense your location, and that is what you need to do in order to start the game. I was like, I've never heard nothing like that. So yeah, I said to him, man, I'll bring it up on the show.
That is very odd.
That was extremely weird. Yeah, so you guys haven't played this yet, did you say? Or
no, I've just seen what people were saying about it and looking at it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I want to know what they're saying.
Although it looks good, there's some gameplay elements in there. They thought it could be fun, but they also ultimately found that it had a few issues.
Right, cool.
It was evident. So they were sort of kind of liking it, but kind of a bit in between. I mean, it's something that has already been times in VR.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the problems in entertainment, that they have ideas, but it seems to be lacking.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just feel that they need like another 3 months or 6 months of development time rather than pushing it out the door when they do.
I think the other side is for China, game development is a very new thing. In fact, video games of any type that isn't a strategy game is a very new thing for China, because outside world consoles were not allowed in China.
I remember all that, yeah.
So this is something that is very different for the Chinese. Are coming very heavy into VR, but they're coming at video games from a totally different point because they have not had the same contact. Even the developers themselves, they have not had the same contact that we have in the West. They have not grown up with the different mechanics. They have not seen any of the different plot lines. They haven't learned any of this stuff. And they are really in the deep end and trying to push themselves in a not only consoles because that they've kind of missed the boat with consoles.
Yeah,
you can actually in China. So they are looking at VR as the way of, well, this is a new stage. So this is a brand new stage. Everybody's the same. We can work from this as a footnote towards getting better in the future.
right.
And that's where the Chinese developers are looking at this, including Wingy Games and things like this, because graphically, like you're saying, they're already rocking it on the graphic side.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you got a bit of an issue, what kind of running on the point that Salsa was making, that in some cases, Chinese developers too big for, if you will, because we've already games that were in the PlayStation, the PlayStation VR. We've had one because I think the game is. The developer have come out around now and said, just making it for PS4. We're not making it PlayStation VR. And the last China Joy, like China event where they show off Chinese developers making PlayStation 4 games, PlayStation VR games, and or it was a, but it looks. Admit it was a first really cool. Jetpacks on it, and you like what's its name? Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, where you had the space bit in that. It looked like the whole game was based around that, and it looked really cool. And they turned around and said, "Yeah, we're not making it in PlayStation VR anymore," which is a shame because I think that game would have been absolutely awesome in PlayStation VR.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to remember what the first encounter I had with the Chinese game, which was actually really good. It's that sort of tower defense one where you're stood up. You're kind of more the tower defense. There is a tower there, and you move between point to point, and you've got an archer and a gun.
Oh, I know the one you mean. Oh God, what was it? Something ancient emulator or something like that. I think it was
emulator,
Yeah.
or something like
There was
that.
a demo for that, and I know that's all I ever played of it.
I played the full version, and it's really good and addictive. I got some good gaming out of that. I got a good few, quite a few hours of gaming out of that.
Oh, right, cool, man.
You know.
What we've got in the chat here? So we've got Stormy Daniels. Anyone watch Stranger Things 3? I personally have. I've got one episode left. What about you guys?
haven't watched any of them yet.
I've already got 2 episodes in because I've been messing around with stuff which we'll get into later.
What, saying you can share it publicly, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, ideal. That's all right.
It's topics we'll talk about later.
Sexy salsa. I only like the digital for the Switch. Perfect for that. There is a Stranger Things 3 game come out as well. That looks really cool as like a retro title. I thought it looked fantastic.
I haven't seen it.
So, next up, funny enough, Jock Jackson brings it up. How is Scrapper? Is it fun? And is it worth it? Scrapper. Yeah, man. First strike. Anyone played it?
Go Scrapper or Scraper?
I wanted to call it Scraper, but if you Google it,
I had an intention of
it
getting the
Scrapper.
game, but when they launched it, and I think you brought this up, they screwed up on the price. I think it came up as $24.99 initially.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting that price, and I was like, "Whoa, that's a bit more than I thought." And I was like, "Okay, I'm I'm gonna leave it for a few hours, and I'm gonna check when it goes live on the American store.
Yeah.
And when I saw it on the American store, I think it was $20 on the American store.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on a second, that's kind of screwed up. And then I think you put a thing out that said, oh, they realised the issue and they're going to correct it. So I don't know if they've corrected it, the price yet, but I got to admit, I haven't gone back into the PlayStation store to see that.
Yeah, if anyone can confirm that, I don't know if they fixed the price as yet. I don't know if anyone can tell us in the chat, but yeah, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. But South, have you played it? Because it's been on PC for about 6 months, hasn't it?
Longer than that, I thought.
Longer.
I had played it because I didn't get a key on that one, and I did apply for a key, but I didn't get that on PC release. I don't think it's on Viveport. If it's on Viveport, I'll play it over there.
Yeah.
Because I've Viveport Infinite.
Right.
It's Viveport. That's what I'm trying to find out.
So I did play it, and it was one of those games I regretted playing. Which is harsh. You know, I was looking forward to this for ages because it drummed into me that the story of this game is magnificent. It's written by someone who's very, I guess, famous. They've done some great stuff. I don't know who it is. I can't remember at the time. But in a way, not knowing that gave me the ability probably to just take the game as I found it as a gamer.
Yeah.
And I thought it was quite... It felt old. It felt like, I'll tell you what it was, right? When I was playing it, and I bloody keep forgetting the name of it. What was the one on PlayStation VR Worlds where you could leap around in the alien thing?
I know the one you're on about.
Odyssey. Is it Odyssey?
Space Odyssey.
No, it's not Space. It's not
Space
Space Odyssey.
Odyssey.
I always forget it, man. They had to tell me in the chat earlier in this week. There's an experience in there. Hello, man. How's it going? And yeah, dude, like, that was so much more superior gameplay than that. Scavenger, that's in midlife. Thank you. I think you must have heard me last time.
Okay.
What they should have done was kept that going and made Scavenger into a proper game. Even though he's there's a good hour there.
That'd be two entire games. The problem with Scavenger is Scavenger's Odyssey. Thanks, Tantrum. The problem for Scavenger was that because it was an early game, an early title, and it does have a lot of motion and jumping around and a slight thing with how the vision works. A lot of people were found that motion sickness quite difficult to deal with, but it is another one from that same disc that is definitely, I think, worthy of a continuation to the story.
Yeah,
because it was good gaming.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Like, it was actually an interesting story. It was well presented. It controlled really well. When I played Scraper,
Left on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, when I played Scraper, man, I was like, I just don't care. I wanted to care, and when you got in the hover thing, it felt weird. Like, it felt like there was some sort of reason that I couldn't walk.
Yeah.
The game was like, no, you're not allowed to walk in this game. You're going to get in some sort of shopping trolley with weapons and go around.
I always found that really odd.
Yeah, I just found it a bit odd, a bit slow. And, it's unfortunate. It was, and also, I made it look a lot better on the social screen than actually what I could see in my headset. I went over, I changed the camera options, made it a bit more colourful and a bit less white, because it fluctuates between looking very washed out and then a bit brown and strange. It was just, there was just things with it, and I didn't really get on with it, and I wanted to get on with it because I know it's been a long time coming. And when you look at the trailer, it looks kind of cool. It looks like it's got that iRobot thing going on, and you see this guy like then he like flips around in the. I
think we've just lost the stream, guys.
Oh, have you lost it? Or?
No, I can see it.
Really? Okay, my stream's just gone down on my side.
Yeah, just hit your refresh.
Maybe it's me. Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
I
didn't see that.
No, it's still running as far as I can see.
Oh,
okay,
cool.
yeah, I've got it. Okay.
Yeah, It wouldn't surprise me, man. Like, the connection's like not particularly great today, sort of up and down. Yeah, so like in the trailer, you can see the guy sort of skids around on the floor, knocking people over and stuff. And I was like, man, this looks pretty cool. Like, it looks like, you know, you're on a hover car or something. And it wasn't cool at all. It was very limiting, and I felt trapped by the game.
It was literally, I think, the developers in this case. Same with you. When I first heard of, I keep on wanting to say Scraper for some reason.
Yeah, Scrappy. Yeah.
Scrapper. When I first saw it as well, when it was releasing for PC, I was sort of like, why are you getting into this thing? And the developers were like, well, literally, it's about motion sickness, and we think that if somebody's controlling something like this, a moving object, they're going to have a better time with the motion.
I remember that. I remember that being a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
that. It's a case of, no, not really. I don't think it's added much to them, and you still got cases where, okay, it's early days of VR. People are still learning the mechanics, what works. But the thing is, there isn't an absolute magic sauce that's going to make everything great for motion sickness or great for this or the other. It's very hard to determine from one person to another person what has an effect on them, because the time when I usually any form of motion sickness is if you've got smooth rotation at a slow speed.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take something like space game Detached.
Yeah, man.
If you see like my review on Detached, I literally you know the film Gravity, Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
Where she's spinning around on the end of that thing at full whack.
Yeah.
I do that in Detached. I made it do that in Detached with me in it while I was standing up. And I did it for a good 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was fine.
Yeah.
But if you hit a certain speed that's kind of like slow to medium slow, just like that, for half a turn, I can go, whoa!
I would say, like, Detached was one of the games that really just kicked off the wheels. Yeah, I mean, the training wheels. It was like, even in... Because there's a hardcore mode that in Control Scheme that I remember watching the Preacher Plays. He had a go at it, where you can play it like arcade-like, and it's still, you still got that full locomotion, you know what I mean? You do feel like you're in space. I think it's a wonderful experience.
Everything hardcore mode.
Oh my God, I couldn't even go in a straight line. I was just all over the place. It was mental.
See, they messed up on the control scheme when it comes to PSVR.
Right.
There is other control scheme, 2 control schemes that are available on the Oculus.
Mm-hmm.
Should have been said this to the developer. That could easily have gone onto the PSVR, and the developers were adding not enough buttons. In fact, it uses less buttons. It doesn't use the thumbsticks on the Oculus controllers at all.
Right.
And uses less buttons. So I just couldn't understand what their reasoning was. But it was literally, you had one that actually simulates the controls of NASA's UAV jets that you know, their jetpacks.
Yeah.
It pretty much one-for-one controls the same layout. And the other way was your left hand, you just point in the direction you want to go with your move with the controller, with the button pressed, and that'll be the direction the thrust goes in. Your right hand, whichever way be flung around. Push your hand, it'll start rotating you that way.
Yeah.
Tilt your hand back, it'll rotate you that way. Rotate you that way. Rotate you that way. You do that, and it'll rotate you, swing you around that way.
Yeah.
All you had to do is hold one button and go, move your hand. Move your hand.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
For sure. Let's jump into the chat. What we've got here. Chris Richardson says China had access to video games consoles. I was in Shanghai in the year 2000. They had PlayStations and Dreamcasts. The piracy for those systems was huge, and you could buy any game for $1.
Wow.
So, yeah. Hold on 1 second. What? That's mad, dude. I swear I just like sounded like a tank just went against the door. I don't know what happened there. Else you got Boy Brown. He's only got 3 episodes left. Oh, he's 3 episodes in, but brilliant into Stranger Things. Boys in Blue, how's it going? Boy Brown, I think it's Scraper. Oh yeah, man, yeah, it's Scrapper, but no, it looks boring. It is pretty boring. Shat's Game Cut, I bought it for $20. Yeah, but man, you might enjoy it. Like, not every game's for everyone. I'm sure there are some people out there who do enjoy it. I'm sure the people who made it bloody enjoy it. I'd hope, because obviously they wouldn't have made it. How's it going, TGK? Richard Abinson, yeah, it went down to 15 quid the next day. Yeah, so the pricing was sorted on that game, which is nice. Thank you very much. You up, Madman? Great times for the answer for Scavenger's Odyssey. Fantastic. Someone mentioned Gran Turismo. We're going to get to that. The stream is acting a little slow. Yeah, I'm really sorry. Like, I don't know what's happening. Maybe next time I'm just going to shut all the both my routers down before I go live next time. So, Great Tantrum. So far, Sairento is the VR title of this month. You'd say yes?
Yeah, I think for PSVR, it's come out amazingly well, considering I played on PC first. I played it on an older processor, so it had some real issues. So what's really impressed me is when it's come out, it's gone through their process, they've refined it down, and it runs as smooth as silk. My first game of Sairento was totally different on that side, because it's like it was jerky and all this because it wasn't so optimized on the PC side.
Right.
So on the PSVR side, it really is nicely optimized.
Yeah, I think it's really good, man. I think he's very
Really
good.
job.
I was speaking to DJ today. I jumped in Space Junks for a little while, and he said he tried for another hour. So I think he's tried for 2 hours on 2 separate days to get on with Sairento on the PlayStation. He can't. He just said, I can't get on with it. You know what I mean? He thinks the graphics aren't particularly great. And he mentioned that because he was in Space Junkies and went, this is like brilliant. Like, this is a beautiful game. Sairento to me looks older, which I do agree with him. It does look older because it is an older game, and it come out at a time when nothing else was quite like that. How old is it on PC VR? It must be over a year.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, this is
It's got to be about 2, isn't it? Because it came out early access.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so I mean, it is an old game, and you've been waiting, or we've been waiting on PlayStation a very long time, and maybe even longer due to the Quest version as well. I'm assuming they then had to maybe split resources and go, right, we want to bring these out roughly the same time. So, yeah, man. I think on PSVR, I would say so.
That was Heavy Fire Red Shadow, and that's an old game as far as I thought.
It's an old game, and there's a demo that you can play.
Yeah.
And it's a VR demo. So play it. The developers sent me the game. I played it, and I haven't streamed it because I thought it was not very good at all. I messaged them, and I was like, dude, if I stream your game, I'm just going to trash it. Like, and it was like 2 weeks after it had been released. You know what I mean? It was one of those random dropped emails. You know what I mean? Where you just sitting there and you're like, oh, that game. Yeah, I remember that. And I had a quick go, and I was like, what's the point? Like, the demo's not particularly great either. Don't get me wrong. Like, if the demo was amazing and everyone's like, I'm going to buy this, and I played it and I thought, no, don't, I would have done something. But the demo sort of shows you what's going on and how good the game is. So just check out the demo. But they did say to me they was going to release an update and they was going to improve things. I've never seen it be updated on the store. I could be wrong on my PlayStation, I mean.
Well, it's only recently come out over here in the UK. It's about 2 weeks ago.
Really?
$34.99 as well. The price.
Yeah. So there you go. TGK 2K. So that's a don't get.
Is it a demo? Is the demo available in the store? Can anyone check that the demo is available in UK store?
I don't available in the UK store.
Because
I think it's just the full game.
It's a non-VR game and a VR game, isn't it? It's two. It's two. So, but yeah, the demo. Hopefully, there is a demo there. If not, make another region account. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're really handy on PlayStation to have for those demos. Like the theatre experience that you've got was only available in the Japanese store for a long time, and it was free to download, free to try. And I made a video on it because I just thought, man, this could be really good. Unfortunately, I found out that if you want to watch something with your friends, you've all got to buy it from them. So that's, I mean, that makes sense on a legal term. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you all want to watch the same film, you've all got to own the same film. You've all got to pay the ticket, I guess. But it's not like a big screen where you can just put up whatever you want, and some people do some very dodgy stuff in there. So yeah, Sairento probably is looking that way, especially on PSVR at the moment. DJ put shame Sairento doesn't have a demo. It's actually more of a shame that PSVR or PlayStation doesn't have a refund policy. A demo would be nice for sure, but I think with VR especially, it's of great importance that we get a chance to try a game before we buy it, or have the chance to get a refund on a game after we've tried it.
Well, same situation with Sairento on Oculus Quest, where I just didn't get on with the game. And admittedly, you are kind of rushing. So I most probably could have jumped back into the game. I think I gave it 55 minutes on the Quest, and then kind of made my decision. This game isn't for me on this system. I'm going to get a refund. And you got 2 hours, so I could have easily walked away from it and listened to what people said, and then jumped into it again. But it was just like, you know what? I've got a huge backlog of games. Do I really want to, waste any more time on this? Because I didn't enjoy it at all.
Yeah.
On Quest, and just to move on to something like I played Fuji.
Yeah.
Did I play Fuji this week? Yeah, I think I played Fuji this week. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It was just a sweet, lovable, silly little game.
Yeah.
In reality, it's a gardening simulator.
It is, yeah.
That's the thing, is you look at it and you don't realise exactly what it is, but it's a gardening simulator. But like I say, it's just got this heart and soul about the game. You kind of get with developers in a lot of cases, if they care about the game that they're making, or they're just putting out a product. And with something like Fuji, I felt, the developer really cares. I think we were talking about the game that is coming from, oh God, what's the developer's name? I think it's Fast Travel Games, like the Island.
Yeah. It looks
game.
like you have like a village or
and
something in front of you.
You can tell that the developers behind that particular game, put their heart and soul into it. So, whereas something like Scrappy, you're kind of saying, well, you hope the developers enjoyed the game that they were making. They might have just been sort of like trying to tick off boxes, saying, okay, well, let's put this in, let's put this in, let's put this in, and that's maybe why the game didn't feel as what you wanted.
I get that kind of feeling that they had. You do have like a mindset, I think, just as we have playing a game to developing something, the same as when I'm making a video or something. You can become quite set in your ways and quite focused, and you think this is going to be great. This should be great, and developers can fall into their own trap there, and think they're doing something that is the right direction for something, and then it doesn't come the way they'd. Of the world, what can you say back to it? If they mess up, they mess up. But I don't think a developer would obviously go out of their way to make something bad.
No, I mean, I had that issue with Servios. Now, like I say, I've kind of been blackballed by Servios. I don't actually think I've been blackballed by the entire company. I think I've actually been blackballed by the guy that's in charge of promotion and stuff like that. I just don't think he likes me, because I had an email conversation over about 5 emails with the CEO of Servios, and I turned around to him and I said I was highly disappointed in raw data. I didn't find it a pleasant experience.
Yes,
and I'll give the guy his dues. He actually turned around to me in one of the emails and said, yeah, we were very upset with what we were able to do. Now, I get there's a lot of people that like raw data, but when you compare raw data on the PSVR to compare it against the PC version, there isn't a comparison. They're two completely different games. So I'll give the guy his dues on that. And then, like I say, he kind of said, well, you're not blackballed. I'll get our promotional guy to get in contact with you, which he never did. So I'm blackballed by the Servius promotional guy. Let's put it that way, sir. But I don't hold that against them. I'm still looking forward to Battle Wake. As I say, Servius is a weird one. I can appreciate their games are really, really good, but a lot of their games I don't really like. Like, I didn't get on with Sprint Vector at all, and I know loads of people love that.
Yeah, that is a great game.
But look, I'm not going to apologise for what I don't like and what I do like. There's games that I absolutely adore that I know people hate. I've said loads of times about Lost Bear.
That's a straight up difference of opinion piece.
Yeah. I mean, I'll keep talking about the Lost Bear until I'm blue in the face, because I still think it's one of the, for the price that it is, which 9 times out of 10 it goes down to like £4, £3. A ridiculously low price, and I think it's a really good experience. So
I've got to do a comment from Tantrum. He's put, when he plays detached, he leans back in his chair so his feet don't touch the ground. That's fantastic. That is such a good idea. How you doing, Marvellous? Thank you for joining. Thank you to everyone who joined. I hope I didn't. Hope we haven't missed anyone out. We like to say hello to everyone.
Fez is in there. So.
Fez is back.
Jackson.
I'm sure he said he was leaving.
Yeah.
Chris Richardson, where are you guys buying your games these days? I used to get anything that isn't exclusive on Steam for future-proofing myself. And, now the possibility of cross-buy options, I'm torn. Yeah, so funny enough, this come up as an issue for everybody. Nobody Talks, Everybody Explodes. Basically, it was on sale on the Oculus Rift version for like £5 something. But because it supports cross-buy, people were then going, sweet, so I got it on the Quest for £5. So they were buying it off that store to get it cheaper on the Quest. They soon realised that, and basically, as far as I know, they stopped the cross-buy for that game while it was on sale or something. I'm not sure what they did, but they picked up on it pretty rapidly. So, because obviously Reddit people are like, yeah, check this out. Do you know what I mean? So, it didn't take them long. I think cross-buy is a fantastic option, especially for people who double dip, but might only double dip on PC VR and Quest. So,
yeah, I think his question was also about he used to just literally buy everything, and where is our position on buying games nowadays?
As in what though? Because it depends on the platform, surely.
Well, no, whichever platform he is on. So, so he's like, you guys, where are we for buying games these days? So he used to get anything that wasn't an exclusive on Steam to future-proof himself. Yeah. So that means anything and everything.
Yeah.
But of course now there is so much coming out that we backlogs news. Every game, I think, personally, I do get a bit more choosy now, especially since I do also tend to play games that have a higher, you have to play them longer times or be more involved with them, like the sim side of things.
Yeah.
I don't go, here's everything.
Right.
You know.
Well, I mean, in terms of purchasing for me, obviously it's PlayStation Store and Oculus Store.
I used to do that more lately.
Every game that comes out, or you won't go for every game that comes out. So if you know, we are in a position where occasionally a developer goes, okay, here, check this game out, which is great when it happens. But other than that, there's tons of times when you go, we're going to buy whatever game that comes out. But there was a point where I think anyone on the PSVR and stuff like that near the beginning was sort of like, oh, there's a new game coming out. Oh, I must get it. Oh, there's a new coming out. I must get it. And VR has, I think, progressed so far past that point at this point. It's that bit where you've got, you have people that are outside VR going, oh, but there's nothing to play. And I'm like, are you kidding? I've got a backlog that I can't get through.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It is tough. It's funny, back in the early days of PlayStation VR, it was a bit like that. It was like, I used to buy, I think before I started, because I'd obviously, you always get someone who trolls you a little bit because you're getting a game for nothing because you're playing it and reviewing it or whatever. And I think I had about 79 PSVR games when I started, because I would pretty much buy one or two a week. Because one a week was sort of like, there was probably not one a week, but it was always sort of one wasn't particularly brilliant, but there was usually two that were actually okay, and you jumped in with them, you know. There was always something new to try, but now you can be more picky, you know, and it seems in a way that the Q&A of PlayStation has got a little bit worse recently. I've noticed games aren't quite, and this isn't about graphics, this is like tracking, it's about the way the game behaves, crashing, things like this seem to be slipping through the web as it was recently, and you know, so I'm even more personally like, is this game any good? What's it going to be like? You know, as before, I'd be like, yeah, man, that'd be cool, and then so yeah, I'm not so sure, man. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I definitely am being picky with stuff. If I see something and I go, you know, I don't think that's going to be me. Particularly, I don't go for it. If someone offers a key, I generally go, okay, great, I'll check that out. I don't always stream it, or I don't always make some content for it, depending on how much time I've got coming back. Because you also have another thing going on at the same time that could be amazing. So it all gets a little bit much.
Yeah,
but there you go.
But I'm the same, man. I'm PlayStation Store. I'm Oculus because of the refund policy if I need it, and Steam especially. They have so many more discounts than any other store I know of. That
Just the sale's going on now and finishes tomorrow, is it?
yeah, it's crazy, man. That sale, like there's some.
Well, Oculus have got a sale on as well, but obviously they left the Quest out of it, which is understandable. I mean, it only launched a couple of months ago, so
yeah,
it would have been nice to have like maybe one or two games in there. A bit like you. I expect you to die. Yeah, that they did £5, and they, to be honest, if they put cross-platform or cross-buy into the scheme, you know, that's something the developer and Oculus should have realised. So
yeah, absolutely. While we're let me just quickly check any comments. How we're doing here. Richard Abinson, Sairento is the best reason to have the 3D rudder. Needs a lot of tweaking to get it right for your taste, but once you've got it right, it's buttery smooth. Well, that's good to hear, man. I haven't quite used the 3D rudder in that yet. TGK said there's no demo for.
I didn't think there was for the UK store, but
yeah,
like you said, you can get one on the American one. So
yeah, I think that's where I downloaded it from. If it's not, make sure you check the PlayStation whole store. Like, search it. Don't just go in the PlayStation VR section. Make sure you search the game itself. You might be able to find it. What we got here? Hello, Wolfie. How's it going? Chris Richardson. The Morrigan is the game I'm trying to make the choice on right now. I have played the Morrigan. I think it's an absolutely amazing game, and as far as I know, they are going to add content to it. I've seen some updates for like graphics and stuff on it, but the game is brilliant. One of the better games I've played on the Rift, actually. It's a shame it's so short. I could play that for hours, that game. It's a beautiful game. Where are we now? Too many flat games, says Wolfie. People talking about prices. A lot of people saying they've got too many games to play, which is great, because I remember on PSVR there was a time when you didn't have anything new to play for a while, It's quite.
Well, I think
strange.
we're definitely at a point with PlayStation VR that you can be a lot more picky about the games that you pick up.
Yeah.
And there's games that you've got that can, you can spend hours on, whether it's a multiplayer game like Wipeout, Spark, or anything like that, to single player experiences. I mean, I know people that are still playing, and I've seen it in the chat as well, that are still playing Until Dawn: Rush of Blood.
I still play
a fun game.
I still play it. Yeah,
It's still a fun game.
Coming back onto another point I was going to bring up actually as well is some of the older games, because you've still got more new people who are new to VR coming in by quite an amount. And there is one of the games that first attracted me sold me and kind of double sold me on getting a PSVR in the first place was Valkyrie,
right.
which there is a tournament coming up for Valkyrie. The sign-ups, I believe, close on about the 17th, and the first EU tournament is on the 20th, and the US tournament is on the 21st. It's being run by CCP Alpha, who is one of the CCP guys that works on Eve, the mainline thing there. But if you want to check out the Discord for Valkyrie, I can put a link up there in the chat for people.
That is a great. I don't know. I mean, funny enough, I think Valkyrie is quite ahead of its time in a way. It had a dynamic resolution in VR. And you notice it a lot when there's like 8 ships on the screen. Things are kicking off. The graphics do get quite pixelated and stuff, but it's a beautiful game.
Oh, they did originally. They don't anymore really get that hit.
Is that on PlayStation, man? Like, it was pretty sick.
Yeah, on PlayStation.
How long ago was this though?
When they updated it to Warzone.
Yeah, I played it since then.
Yeah, it doesn't degrade anywhere near as much as it used to.
Well, if that's the case, it must have been absolutely awful. Because when I played it,
there was a point where the pixels would go to the point where you would think that a pixel was about this height.
Oh no, it's nothing like that. No.
Exactly. It really does work very, very well. And then on the PC side, which of course it does allow crossplay.
Yeah.
But this will be like a custom tournament held there, which is very unusual because obviously the game is still running on servers. They're not closing servers or anything else like that, but the rest of the support on the game is kind of stopped at where it is. But it's something that I brought up because I have been looking at older games this week as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a really, really good one on those terms.
It's a great game. It really is. Boy Brown has put, do you think Sony has stopped manufacturers making a move type controlled with thumbsticks for PSVR? It just seems strange to me that it's so obvious it's needed and no one has tried to do it.
Well, this is a
what's
thing.
that, third party, you mean?
I guess so, yeah.
They have to get a clearance from Sony, or Sony has shut them down. So that's why it won't happen.
It needs to happen.
I don't have a problem. Anyone that's watched my channel for any period of time, I have and continuously need VR having to have on their control. As far as I'm concerned, it's no, and it isn't the gamers anymore. It's now becoming about the developers, because we're asking the developers to try and port PC games that have analog sticks now over to PlayStation VR, and then asked off to try and figure out a movement scheme that I mean, I'll give you the perfect example. Again, a game that I just didn't get on with, wanted to dramatically, and that was Killing Floor Incursion, and I just couldn't get on with it. And all I kept thinking while I was playing that game was, if this had analog sticks, this would just be, one of my favorite games of all time. But because there was so many, fingers in pies to do anything in that game, and in the end, it was just too much for me. And it was just like, I great for the people that really enjoyed it. I know you enjoyed it, Chris, but I was at a point where it's just like I'm just getting too frustrated. In fact, I stopped playing it so I didn't get even more frustrated and started throwing insults at the game because I know it was a good game. But I don't blame the developers for that. I do blame Sony for that. It's just like, guys, if you ask the majority of PlayStation VR users, if we outsource it to a third party and they charge £80 for 2 new Move controllers, but they got analog sticks on there, you'd be happy to pay it. I think you'd find the percentage of PlayStation VR owners would be fine because we've already invested a ton of money anyway.
Yeah.
But what they've done with the Move controllers, considering they're over 10 years old, is pretty amazing anyway. But it's just like, guys, you need to move on. And added to the fact now as well, the PlayStation VR we know is going to work with PlayStation 5.
That's fantastic.
Really, there's no excuse. Just get the new controllers out. Let people to buy them.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the amount of games that I would go back to with analog controls that I put time into, I wouldn't. To be honest, I wouldn't have to buy another PSVR game for at least 6 months.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
There's another thing that come up as well today. We was talking about sales and stuff like Windlands, for example. And this is the reason I know a lot of people jump on Steam and other bits is because it's still £35 on PlayStation VR, but it's £1.79 on Steam.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? That is.
I got it for $8.99 on sale on PlayStation Store.
I know, man.
I ain't played the thing yet.
It's a crazy.
Well,
I think it was Nerf. I think it was Nerfenstein who told me that. So, and I think she's based in Australia or New Zealand, so it'd be their dollar amount, which I still must be about £20, something around that mark. It's got to be.
Yeah. Tantrum is coming up about Vive ones don't have thumbsticks, but they have trackpads, dude. So the trackpads they use in place of thumbsticks anyway because it can still track a large degree of movement there, but it's not as nice as thumbsticks.
Right.
I will have to say. I think I got Windlands and Windlands 2 when Windlands 2 came out on PC as a bundle. I originally bought Windlands for PC for PSVR.
Yeah.
But when Windlands 2 came out, they did a bundle in a sale.
Yeah.
And it was basically I got Windlands 2 for whatever 20 quid it was, 24 quid, and Windlands.
Yeah.
On release day.
And they are, if no one hasn't played these games before, and I know we all have, like, I've played Windlands 2 as well. You played Windlands, Nat?
No, not yet.
Oh.
I brought it. It's one of the backlog games.
It's
a
wonderful experience, Windlands.
If you think that Spider-Man demo, but better.
Cool.
And it reminds me of Jumping Flash for some reason, like the original Windlands from PlayStation. I don't know why. It's just I don't know. I can't explain it. But it was the only game in VR. I probably shouldn't have played it standing up, but it feels great to play it standing up. I missed a ledge, and I nearly actually fell in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really does have that impression.
Yeah.
When explore, I mean, the first Windlands has a little bit more of an exploratory feel to it than.
Oh man, they're actually completely different games apart from the swimming mechanic. Like Windlands 2 is absolutely amazing, and someone's just put, when is Windlands 2 coming to PlayStation VR? Dude, I am always asking the developers about that because I think it's a wonderful game. I had an amazing experience with it at EGX last April. It's quite an old game now, and it was like multiplayer. I was swinging through these trees, and there was like this robotic spider, and I just remember swinging, man, and like using this bow and arrow in midair, and I was like, "This is incredible. This feels absolutely fantastic."
Windlands, Shaz just brought up something why I mentioned as well, because there are games that you miss. I mean, there's a lot of reference sometimes talking about things, or when you're having conversations with people. And it's because I went, okay, start a video game, a ColecoVision and Pong, through to PS2 and then stopped playing video games.
Right.
And then I picked back up with PS4 and Destiny. So that gap in between, there was apparently a load of really good games that I completely missed.
Right, okay.
But somebody just sort of said they hadn't, was it one of the game cats there, who said they missed Windlands. Because Windlands is a great game, but not everybody, it goes into the other topic that's been on for quite a while here, move on at some point, is motion sickness.
Yeah.
Windlands is not for everybody, and especially near the beginning of the release of Windlands, it got highly trashed by a lot of people because they couldn't deal with the motion at that point. As people have moved on and got their VR legs in,
Yeah.
Windlands, and they came back to Windlands a lot later on. This is one of the things with some games you find, you play it first of all and you go, oh, well, that's really at my threshold.
Yeah,
And when
it's intense.
Take a step back, play something else that you can withstand, and put a marker in, put an alarm in your phone or something, and go, actually play it again, visit it, and win games that if you have full and you revisit it maybe 5-6 months down the line from where you first was, it was like, bam, so many people went, oh my God, I didn't realise that Windlands was actually this amazing.
Yeah, it is an amazing game. It is an amazing game. I love it. And it's quite, the first one, the second one's completely different. The first one's quite tranquil. You just sort of chill out. It's very peaceful. It's nice, man. It is a nice experience as much as it is an intense experience. Wolfie Smith, I'd rather have moves with thumbsticks than the 3D rudder. It's fair comment, I think, to be honest. It's not a you know, and the developers weren't too happy with me when I said that. I wondered whether would it be as much as a needed peripheral if we had thumbsticks. I don't think it would be, to be honest. You know, because a lot of people will say we haven't got analog sticks. The 3D rudder is amazing. I'm not saying it isn't good. It is a great idea, and for certain games, it makes sense.
Yeah, there's some people who would still prefer the rudder over move sticks, and there are some people that would go, well, move sticks every time. Well,
yeah,
man.
Again,
preference a lot.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's nice that we've got options.
Yeah,
that's the main
Somebody
thing.
mentioned Starblood Arena as well.
Yeah,
and people going on about Starblood Arena and I can't take this. And I mean, I like Starblood Arena, but there's control scheme methods and stuff like that involved with Starblood Arena that are really just annoyed the heck out of me. I'm not going to put two ways around it. I think the developers were really stupid about it and really dumb and locked it down, because you've got a 6 degrees of freedom game, which is highly complicated controls.
Yeah.
And you're giving people set choices that you can only have one of 3 schemes or whatever. So that is one of the failings of Arena to me. Instead of going, the controls are complicated, so you say what will work best for you. It failed to take account of what works best for anybody else, and that's regardless of any other problems the game had on release of networking issues and, you know, finding a game and stuff like that, because there's a load of stuff in that game that was absolutely superb.
Yeah.
Control method.
Wolfie said something I've heard a lot. He said the only drawback, or one of the biggest drawbacks for him, 3D rudder, is you can't stand on it.
Yeah.
And I get that completely. Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of people have said that. Some people feel that virtual reality is all about standing and moving in a player space.
Yeah.
And, man, if that's how you feel about VR, Wolfie, you probably should check out a Quest, to be fair, because, you know, not many people say that. We've got in the chat now, Megaton is under VR for me. I'm not sure what you mean by that, dude, but I think Megaton's a great game, especially when they've done some of their latest updates. Where are we now? Space Junkies control method is good. Proves it can work. Nice. Pixelated Feud.
I still think they need to get a free weekend or something out.
What for
Yeah.
Space Junkies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Space Junkies definitely.
Yeah, I'll be free weekend.
I'm not prepared to buy the game without trying it again. I get what you guys are saying. Oh, it's so much better now. They've really updated it. And it's like, well, that's fine. You're asking me to pay, 20, 30 quid, whatever it is, to kind of take a risk on it. And unlike Quest, where it's like, okay, I tried it again, still don't like it, I can get a refund. With PlayStation VR, I can't. So, like I say, it's just like, come on, guys. Firewall have done it. Firewall have put out. I think this is the second free weekend that they've done recently.
Or even better, Orbis has done something. Well, because Orbis is like 30.
Yeah, but they didn't do it on Quest. They only on Rift version, where where they offered you a game up to level.
Yeah.
Which I idea.
I think great idea. If you didn't realise it wasn't, which is a shame. But fortunately for me, I have a Rift, so I could do it on Rift. But I think that'd be a great option for something like losing the plot.
For what?
Space Junkies.
Yeah, Space Junkies. Just to while we're
Junkies go. Here's a character. Play. Once you get to, I'm afraid that's it. Came over. But try it out. Get just 1 week on a one weekend. It shuts its own weekend. So if the news on that weekend, they've missed the boat on that weekend, and it relies on the company doing it continuously. Whereas if you go, you can play this as a demo up to X level. There you go, full game. Get on with it. Try it. See what you think. That's the demo part. If you liked it, boom, here you go. Keep on playing. There's the price. You know we're good.
Yeah. While we're talking about this, Space Junkies is getting a permanent price reduction. Funny enough,
yeah,
on PS4. So the funny thing is, right, when I was talking to my guy over there, he wouldn't tell me what currency this is. He just tells me 19.99, and I was like, "What is that? Dollars, euros, pounds?" And he went, "It's 19.99." So I don't know what that means.
Euro.
It can be all over the place. It probably is euros, yeah. On PC right now, it's 63% off if you're thinking of picking it up. But that price should be on there now, and PC will eventually. So basically, it's a permanent price reduction of that game, which when I gave him feedback, it was the same thing. No move support, no free locomotion. It was quite expensive. Everything I sort of tried to mention has been corrected, but hopefully, I really hope the damage hasn't been done, because they've done the right thing, where what they've done is they've constantly updated the game, and they've constantly added features to the game, which is important in keeping the community alive and keeping people wanting to come back. I actually think where it is now, unlike Firewall in a way, Firewall actually seems to get trashed every time it gets updated. Something goes wrong, and it seems that everyone goes, "Oh, you can't even celebrate the newest update until things are fixed." As Space Junkies actually seems to be going from strength to strength, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Apologies to anyone on the stream as well. I have no idea what is going on with. It's either the stream or it's Skype. Basically, the guys are cutting in and out here and there. I'm not sure. I can only apologise for it. Next time, I'll make sure that I'll reset my routers and stuff. And
okay, looks good on the stream though.
Yeah, it might look good, but I think you guys are cutting out now and again, and I'm not sure whether it's Skype or it's OBS or it is genuinely my broadband. I'm not sure. So, but yeah, so let's move on to Oculus Quest releases this week. We saw Accounting Plus, I think it was, that come out this week. I'm sure you guys have already played Accounting Plus.
It's
Yes.
it's on my back.
It's on what? Sorry, hold on. It's doing it again.
No,
1 second. 1 second. Wait for it to level out. It seems to do this weird thing where it's trying to find like a happy medium, and it goes green, and you're good to go, Sals. Sorry, mate. Go for it. Hopefully.
okay, that's cool. It's on my backlog.
Well, you've never
Still
played
on my-
it.
No. It's
Okay.
on the backlog. It's one of those ones where, you know, I've got so many other paying, or I'm looking at buying hardware or things like that. So it's like one of those things that you know,
Tech.
I never did.
What about you, Nat?
I love it. Brought it straight away on the Oculus Quest version. The thing I was actually a little bit surprised about when I was playing through it is, and I knew they'd updated some new content in there. I was surprised by how much new content was actually in the Quest version. There are parts where you laugh out loud. It's definitely a game, I would say, that you have a smile while playing, but also a confusion of what the hell have I stepped into now?
Yeah.
And that's the part of it. It's just really weird and crazy and fun. It's cheaper on the Quest than it is on PlayStation VR, although from what I can tell, it's the same game. It's only $8.99, I think, on the Quest version. So I think it's well worth it. Again, it does come down to your sense of humor. If you are a person that really doesn't like Rick and Morty and that sort of sense of humor, then you're not going to like Accounting Plus. But if you do like, say, Rick and Morty and stuff like that, it's definitely worth getting. And you can kind of see that it is a starting point, a genesis point of a game that I think is far superior, and I'm not knocking Accounting Plus. Trover Saves the Universe. You can see it's a genesis point that Squanch Games have moved on to Trover Saves the Universe, which I think is most probably is my favourite VR game so far this year.
Oh wow, that's
cool. Like I say, the humour suits me and all the weird bits and pieces and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I absolutely adored Accounting Plus on PlayStation VR. I was glad to get it on PlayStation VR. Enjoyed it on Quest, except for one moment, which is in my stream, where I literally punch this microphone off the desk because I forgot where I was.
Nice, man.
And also, I do like with Accounting Plus, you can choose for a seating or a standing option.
I think there's something to be said for the Guardian system at the moment, because Midlife messaged me yesterday on my stream, and he has broken his finger playing Sairento. When you make that Guardian, don't go right for the boundaries. Bring it in a little bit. If you go right for the boundary, you're basically saying you can still get your hand, because I know it goes from red to blue, but that isn't going to stop you while you're swinging your arm. That's going to just, you might as well, you know, and everyone wants that maximum space. I get it. But even I notice it, man. I draw right around my room. I was even drawing around this case. I was like, yeah, that'd be all right in this corner. Do you know what I mean? Next minute, I'm punching this door because it's open, and I forgot about it, and I'm like, oh, man, what an idiot. So, yeah, you got to be careful. Accounting Plus for me is absolutely amazing. Mrs. GT, absolutely loved it. It's a fantastic game. I really hope everyone picks it up. It's a superb experience, and I just, amplify everything that Nat said earlier. So, what about you, South?
Again, it's still on the to get list. I think
Get it now!
What are you doing, man?
Plus, it's like, I'm still trying to go through some of the other stuff, because this week with the sale on, I've been getting some older stuff and some newer stuff. So I did actually try and get Adrift, which you probably wouldn't have heard of.
I have heard of it, man.
I've heard of Adrift.
It's on PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not on PlayStation VR, but it's on PlayStation, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It requires an Xbox controller when you play it through Steam, which I don't have an Xbox controller.
Ah, so you didn't. Like, so I know. Apparently, you used to get them boxed in with Oculus Rifts, didn't you?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so I had to buy mine separately, but they're only I think they're only about £20. They're not that expensive, I'm pretty sure.
The other games that I've just picked up on Steam was Pavlov, which you've played, Chris.
Yes.
I haven't played Pavlov, I played Onwards more.
Yeah.
And Contractors. I also picked up Thumper for the PC VR as well, because it gives me another use one of my my other sort of thing, like this bad boy, which is the sub pack,
Nice.
which is a tactile sub. So if you like, instance where you know the is going to shake you into, this thing is awesome with rhythm games and stuff like that. I also use it as a butt kicker for when I'm playing driving games.
All right.
Because motor, the sound of the motor.
Right, hold on.
Through the seat.
You put it under your butt.
No.
Yes, you do.
You put it on the back of the seat.
Oh, right. I thought you sat on it, man. Like, rest your
no.
your little sousers on it as well. Oh, ideal. God, that bump was mental. The old boys bouncing around.
So does what it does is it takes the low frequencies and it does the full-on subwoofer thing. There's a very hard vibration thing. So yeah, it sounds funny like that, but it adds a huge amount. It adds a huge amount,
mate. That's what's all wrong with dual shock. If you can't feel it in your butt, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? That's but
you know,
haptic bum feedback.
I mean, that's a very strange place where you put your controller, mate.
Can you imagine if we had haptic suits, which they already make anyway?
They already do.
Yeah.
Just literally spend. Okay, we're not going to. We're just going to shoot them in the.
Mate.
Your missus will be wondering what you've been doing with your butt, Chris.
Ideal.
Okay. TGK2 has it built in. There you go.
He has what built in?
Vibrations.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Nice. A lot of sim racing. You do use these a lot. These tactile. What they do call them butt kickers.
Oh,
that's what they're called.
Oh, nice. Nat, did you take note of the file size of Accounting Plus? Someone asked.
It wasn't big. I do remember that, but no, I didn't. I can find out.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it was just saying it come up.
Usually under,
no, I can check. Give me a second.
Usually under 2 gig.
Yeah.
The biggest games are usually the biggest games so far are kind of like 2 gigs, aren't they? About
2.6 is the biggest one I know of, and that was Dance Central.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, that was the other thing I was saying about the quest in the first place, that games are such a size that you can just...
No, it's gone down on YouTube.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's still saying live to me, and then it's saying it's reconnected.
Oh, sorry about that. 1.9 gigs.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. We might have lost everyone.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
We're back.
Is it another stream? Or is it the same one? On YouTube, it just says it's live.
No, that's saying we're back.
Alright, cool. Well, it's definitely gone on Facebook and God knows what else. Yeah, as I said...
Thank you, Drew, for that one. Butt kicker or salsa shakers?
Mate, the salsa shaker. That sounds awesome. I'm really sorry about this today. We'll have to just bear with it, and next week I'll have to make sure that I'll restart everything. Where was we? I was going through some of the comments. Sorry, Nat, what did you say? How big was it? Sorry?
Accounting Plus is 1.9 gigs.
1.9. Yeah, that's cool.
So not too big at all.
Nah, that's it, man. Where are we? People talking about Quest issues, I think, of where they've... I learned that when I threw my controller into my dresser, throwing a frisbee in Rec Room. I take it they mean about putting the straps on. Accounting Plus is £9.
Salsa did the
straps on or these straps.
Nice, cool. Yeah, as I said, man, sorry about the stream. I wish I knew what was happening. He'd done this not yesterday, the day before, and I think he'd done it last week. We was all live as well. That we had an issue, but thank you all for putting up with it. I'll try and sort something out. So, where was it? Hello, Midlife. How's it going? I'm sure it's hello, Papa Chicken. Thank you for joining.
TGK saying that Counting Plus is 658 megs on PlayStation. I think you'll find there's going to be some updates to that as well. It's going to be a bigger file.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because you did have some add-ons, didn't you?
Yeah, they've put, at least as far as I'm aware, two extra bits of content in there. Like I say, I found a couple of new bits of content in the Quest version that I was playing.
Oh, nice. You right, Pedster? How's it going? Go on, South. What's happened?
Just saying, Hypnotoad, careful with those double entendres.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So let's move on to something I still haven't played, which I don't know if it's out on PSVR or not. It's coming out. It's Penn and Teller. Is that
Yeah.
Is that out? I know it's out on Quest, obviously, but I mean, is it out?
PlayStation VR. I'm not aware of it coming to PlayStation VR. The thing is, I've actually been given a code by the developer, so let me thank, the publisher, Gearbox, have actually given me a code. If they can give me a code for Borderlands 3, I'll be really happy as well. I don't think that's going to happen so much. But after what Salsa was saying last week, that really there isn't a lot of first-player content, I didn't want to jump into it on a stream. So tomorrow night at work, I'm literally doing a crazy shift. I'm doing a 8 in the evening to 7 in the morning shift. So I'm most probably actually going to take my Quest headset into work. We've got a bit of space down there, and I'm most probably going to get a couple of people at work to kind of join in when we have a bit of and get them involved in that.
If you do, make sure get the instructions of what you're supposed to do with the bullet one first, so that you know where you are, because there is a backstage area.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't want them knowing the deal, but there is only a few single player parts with Penn and Teller. Some of it's quite interesting in some ways, but I think you do have to be a Penn and Teller fan. The Houdini trick, the famous Houdini escape. If you actually try and do it, as in holding your breath underwater while doing it, you can get an appreciation for how hard it would be. They also do the cups trick. The Penn and Teller's version of the cups trick, where the balls and cups and stuff like that. So they show their sleight of hand, and it's really amazing that they're showing you their sleight of hand in VR at the speed that they do it on stage, and you're still sort of like, what happened there? I know they showed me everything right in front of my eyes, and they was explaining it, and I can go wherever I like around the stage around them and watch them doing it, and exactly where they're palming all this stuff off, but it's still so damn mesmerizing that I can't figure out what the hell they just did there.
That's cool.
Which is in itself a little bit of magic, but it's it's not the best, but there are bits in there that are quite cool.
See, it's weird. I put it on, like, not graphically, everything's fine like that. It was saying to me that I needed oh god, hold on, the quality's gone down again. Oh god, this is a nightmare today. It's all over the place. Yeah, I didn't really. It made me feel like I needed someone else to play the game with me.
Yes.
And I was like, dude, I'm not going to have time. Like, when am I going to get to do this stuff? And basically, I went down and saw Mrs. GT. She wasn't interested. I said to my daughter, I was like, look, take this controller, pretend to shoot me. And she was like, I'm going out. So I was like, do you know what I mean? I was like, all right, fair enough. No one can help me, like, even explore this game.
Your daughter don't even want to shoot you. There we go.
No, man, that was it. So, and then what we got else? So, yeah, Penn and Teller saying, South, did you say you made a video on Penn and Teller though?
I've still got to edit.
Yeah.
All right. So that's in the works, but it really is a case of it's good if you like Penn and Teller, but it is a little bit of a troll. There's some trollish stuff in there, I think, as well, which is typical Penn and Teller, which was still kind of funny.
Yeah.
And off there, I wanted to go with doing these. There's some of these that are practical jokes that you friends a headset, and there's some of them I think you've got to be very careful with, because you could end up getting your headset a little bit damaged if you do the trick wrong. So I'm just going to say that.
Yeah,
and
man.
Thank you very much for the £2 Wolfie.
Cheers, dude.
Yeah, I was trying to type it in the thing, and it bloody autocorrect said it was Willie rather than.
Sorry.
I apologise for that.
Excellent
you
stuff.
can see it says that. Because I put Wolfie and the damn thing auto-corrected as I put Wolfie, bloody thing. But yeah, I was just trying to say thank you.
Thank you, Willie.
Something else as well that came up this week, obviously, because we've got a lot of racing games that happened for yourself.
Are you talking about the comment?
Yeah, the G29 Goodwill.
Yeah, cool. Let's do it.
Fnatic is probably in there with the best. He got the CSL Elite with PS4 with load cell and amazing force feedback that is sick. Wow. Yeah. Where to go from that? Because I mean, it's your first time this week with doing the force feedback wheels.
It was, and it was strangely addictive. I can see why some people try driving in VR, driving games, and have the force feedback, and that is all they do from then on. Like, even as content providers, or they start content providing because of it. It's an amazing experience, and yeah, I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic, and not to say I played it for 2 days pretty much. I just streamed. I've done all the racing games on PlayStation. I've done Project Cars 2 on PC, and I was happy to put it away and walk away for a little while. But I can't wait to get it back out again.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, man.
It is amazingly addictive, and then when you do also in a group,
I'm reading the power to the Willy, Big Willy style. Wolfie the Willy. That's what it's all about, mate.
Oh no, dear. Yeah. So on the driving side as well, obviously on PC we are all for. You've got Project Cars 2, Assetto Corsa. You've got Assetto Fiore, which on the VR side is not quite really powerful, but it's coming. Kartcraft, which is also in early access. That's which I only just played today.
Yeah.
Could potentially be good, but is the second of a second driving game for PC to be built in Unreal Engine.
Okay.
So there is Assetto Corsa Competizione is an Unreal Engine, and also Kartcraft, which is also an Unreal Engine, and both of them have performance issues.
Right.
So buyer beware. If you have a completely hyped up system, you can probably tune it to the point where it's good. If you don't, ouch. But there's a load of other options on that side as well. What's the other ones? Race Room as well, which has some free content. You're yet to dive into Race Room, I believe.
I haven't tried Race Room.
Yeah, we'll have to try Race Room because there's some free content for that.
Just want to stop here with Fez quickly. He's got the same issue, I think, that I had. Where if you leave the game or minimise the game or do anything else with the steering wheel, 1 minute it seems to work, next minute it's not. Could you tell him what you told me? And if you tell him too technically, I can simplify
it. Okay, you mean where because you've got some games where if you don't actually put your cursor on and then click into the game, it'll lose focus and it won't work at all.
Yeah, you got to have that window as like the top window on PC games a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be the top window, and you just click a button into it, it'll work in there.
Yeah.
The other one is that sometimes some of the race games, Project Cars 2 seems to be on a bit of thing with this lately, is that it will lose all of the button configurations. So when you go in and find that your controller is not working, if you go into your settings and you go into your key assignments, the first ones under the key assignments will be what do you do for left turn, what do you do for right turn. So click in there, turn your wheel full lock and back to center, and it'll pick up the wheel. Do it, go through all the buttons there, and then you should find that everything works again. But it seems to be really sensitive about having new devices plugged in.
Yeah.
When you start the game up or have started the game up, it's throwing wobblies. So yeah, it's possibly something like that. If you can, and you know where the inf files are for your controller setup, the game files, yeah, that big overhead. If you can find that, you can save that, and that'll help you. But that's a bit more technical one. Easiest one, go to the menu, go button, 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 and go.
There you go. Yeah, so all you got to do is remap the buttons to what you want on the steering wheel, and you should be golden. So let's, what else do we look at quickly?
You got somebody asking about your PC rigs. So.
All right. What?
Mr. Louverture.
Okay, what does he want to know? Sorry, I must have missed that.
It says Salsa and Gamertag, what PC you boy? Oh, hold on. What PC you boys running? And any thoughts on the MSI Trident X Plus 2080 Ti i9 9900K? Looking to get a Rift S.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I'll need to see where he is, but yeah, I've got a 2080 Ti. So I know what you're going on there. MSI Trident X Plus. MSI tends to have the highest price and the highest spec for overclocking on the RTX lines. So yeah, that's a beast of a machine you're trying to do. Basically, you've got a Salsa Gamertag crossover PC that you're looking at building there, because game process that you're looking at, and I have the graphics card, a 2080, but is the edition. So it's all pretty good to go for that and a Rift S. I mean, there's pretty much nothing that you can't play under that type of setup.
You're looking at a hybrid of awesomeness, to be fair.
Yeah, you're looking at that's the top tier as a combination.
Put it this way, man. I think I've got 32 gig of RAM, i9 9900K Intel 9, I think it's i9, yeah, and the 2070 RTX. And when I done the what's it called, benchmark, it was classed as a UFO.
Yeah, mine's a UFO as well.
It was like, what does that mean? Literally, is what it is. It's just so above most other things being benchmarked that they can't really put it in a category. So it's like, cool.
To put that into context, thanks Gaming Legends for the 199.
Oh, cheers, dude. Did I say thank you?
Yeah, he's giving 199 towards a butt kicker, so you can save some energy.
Yeah, man.
That is a wonderful, wonderful job. So yeah, no, it really is good. If you have something, it also depends what type of games you're looking at. I think that can actually be overkill for some games, which is awesome because you're future proofing a bit.
Yeah, that's the road I went down, is future proofing.
Yeah. If you want to play something like Dirt Rally VR, the current Dirt Rally 1 VR, I can actually play that on ×2 super sampling, 90 frames a second, every to maximum. Gorgeous. It's just unbelievable. My godness, that it's great. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the other thing with PC, right? Because it's not. They're trying to make games run better using less at the moment. That seems to be the thing. They want virtuality not to be such a massive expense to people. They really don't. They want to. That's why the recommended specs and stuff are quite important to look at. And you can also download that and benchmark your PC, work out where you are, work out what you need to get into the game. To be fair, like, to look at what I was doing, this is like, say I wasn't doing videos, like making, I know I don't make many videos, but when I make a video processing, the one thing that annoyed me on the Mac was the time it was taking to process. So that all then comes down to threads, I believe, or cores.
It comes down to cores and threads,
right.
Your core output.
So it was one of those things where I was like sort of stuck. Do I go for the AMD Ryzen, which was one of their top tier ones, which had more threads and cores? So it was more of a workhorse.
But it's also about single core performance. So
that's why I ended up going with the Intel.
More cores, which can be great. But video games, if you're going to be video gaming, there are a lot of games that only use single or maybe 2 cores at most.
Right.
So what you have to look at is the single core performance. So I've got the i7 9700K, which has really good single core performance, doesn't have hyper-threading, but it has 8 cores. So it's still no slouch.
This is Souse's dream.
No,
this is Souse's dream.
It's not. But it's a lower cost. If you're only looking at gaming, then I would say you get a better deal going with the i7 maybe than the i9. If you are doing some video processing and stuff or other stuff like that, or there are some games coming out that are looking at using multi-threading better in the future. So if you can afford it, it's not going to hurt to have the i9 single core performance off of the i9 9900K is slightly better than the 9700, but it does cost significantly jump in price on that processor. But the performance side, it's a little negligible.
Right, Fez is really enjoying this tech talk, which means it's actually starting to do my head in. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to start looking at some of the games that come out on PC VR this week that you might have joined me to look at, or any of the others. We are looking at Rogan Thief in the Castle, which became quite a talking point this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm still... Oh, thank you very much, baby. Cheers. Sweet.
So,
sorry to interrupt.
This is what I wanted to play, but now I'm glad I didn't buy it.
What have I done? I've put fucking... Oh, sorry. I've put on... I don't usually swear, man, but I put on the wrong bloody video.
On Gran Turismo.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. Go on, so you wanted to play this?
I wanted to play this because I saw the trailer and was sort of like, this could be epic. This could be amazing.
Yeah.
Because graphically, it looks sweet.
Yeah.
I thought story-wise, okay, this could be great. This could work well.
Yeah.
And then it seems that things have not turned out that way.
No.
Some people like it, which is great for them. And I saw, I think the VR Realm, he quite liked that, enjoyed that, and was going through. But it was like 3 hours gameplay. So 3 hours gameplay on normal with a very linear game where all you're doing is picking stuff up and can easily avoid people.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
man.
That's not it. That's not 30 the content.
Yeah, dude. It was hold on.
I'm sure you're going to talk about a cow.
Eh?
You're going to talk about a cow any second. I'm waiting for the cow.
No. So they updated the game. Yeah, so you're right. When I played it, you got a hood on. Yeah, which in the headset actually looks quite cool. But when you look at the stream, it doesn't look cool. It hold on a minute. The bloody stream's all over the place again. Pretty sure. I'm waiting for it to level out again. It's gone from red to yellow to green to whatever it's doing. Yeah, so basically in the stream, because usually when you play a game and you're making content, it captures one eye or the other, left or right. It captured left eye, which is pretty unusual because most games go for the right eye because that's people's strongest eye. I was an alright thief, thank you. Oh, dude, it was just it was annoying on the stream. The game was very simple. I would say you don't really feel like a thief. You just feel like more of a collector of items that are placed in front of you. Really, I mean, a couple was sort of out of the way, but I didn't really know why I was collecting them. That was the other thing. See you later, Drew. Take care. And
I'll see you, Drew.
Yeah, I didn't really. Someone said he was going anyway. I didn't see. I must have missed Drew's message. I didn't really get why I was collecting this stuff. I didn't, you don't upgrade anything, buy anything. The fighting was minimal. I think you just hit people over the head with sticks. I just didn't really get the whole thing, and the fact that it looked so great actually constantly reminded me of how good a game it could have been. That was the problem. That was what I suffered.
If it looked that good, but actually had gameplay that was like Thief.
Yeah.
That's what people were expecting. That's what I saw it from the trailer, was sort of like, this could be great. I've got a murder, mystery, conspiracy thing going on in the background while I'm trying to sneak around a castle, looking good, doing this. Could end up getting into a bit of a scuffle now and again with some guards and have to take them out and things like that. But it doesn't give you those options. It's sort of like, whack him over the head. Sneak behind them.
It was weird, dude. Honestly, it was so weird. And then you got that warning at Chapter 7, basically saying you weren't allowed to play past Chapter 7 if you're like if you make videos or your content. And I actually thought, like, I think I was watching F Reality, and they went, "Why does it actually get good after that?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Damn, that is a massive thing to say." Do you know what I mean? But they were quite right. So yeah, that is it's overpriced as well. I think it's about £32 at the moment. Which is
Poppers has come along with procedurally generated stealth game would be cool. Well, we've kind of already got that, if you like, because you can play that in what do you call it?
That Fire Sprites game.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love this game, and it's the persistence.
Yeah.
The persistence is an absolutely top-notch game. Absolutely love that game.
That's in space. Was talking games as well. Aspire 1.
Yeah.
Stealth game in VR that looks like it's got amazing game mechanics.
Yeah.
And it looks like it looks good as well.
Yeah. It sounds incredible. It sounds like they're really thinking about everything,
Yeah. So yeah, I'm to say that Rogan was one of the ones that I was looking forward to, and unfortunately looks like a letdown. So they've got some, I think they've got some serious looking at their drawing boards of what they were trying to achieve, and maybe they can do something because the game engine looks like it's running beautifully.
Yeah,
it's just like game mechanics and what they're doing there.
Right, let's move on to Gran Turismo, because Nat, you knew a lot about this. You was telling us about it earlier.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me find the article again.
Which is great because a lot of people are saying to me after playing so many driving games this week, we need more on PlayStation. So
yeah, so we all know that Polyphony Digital, the makers behind Gran Turismo, because that's the only thing they actually make, are well on their way to making Gran Turismo 7. And